Rover, how do you get into Animal Crossing New Horizons? It's been so long. Well, it's easy, man. Just have a maze and slightly update it every year. Well, hey, I have a coffee shop and probably gyroids. Well, it should be easy for you then. Hey man, what was up with just giving a picture for year 2? Well, it probably wasn't in the budget. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Patrick. I run a channel called NintenTalk, which you're watching right now. We're going to be going over E3 predictions. I don't know what that was. We're going to be going over predictions for E3. E3 is in less than a month, okay? It's from June 12th to the 15th. And if you didn't know, E3 is like this beautiful time in gaming where video game developers, video game companies release like new exciting games. It's basically like showing off, like, hey guys, this is what we have cooking up. And a lot of awesome things has been shown at E3. They also like to sprinkle in updates for older games. So they often announce like DLC or like free updates that are coming to games to kind of let players know like, yeah, we still got your back when it comes to your favorite game. So today we're going to be discussing if Animal Crossing could show up in the E3 upcoming. So it's kind of exciting. Now, okay, let me just start with this. There's a lot going on here. By the way, we're just going to be doing a casual video today. Usually I have like the green screen gameplay rolling in the background. We're just going to be doing some casual stuff. And I actually asked you guys over on the community tab. I believe this poll is still going on at the time of this recording. And I said, will any Animal Crossing news or updates appear in the upcoming E3 presentation for Nintendo? 65% of you said yes. I don't know if that's like a mixture of like, yeah, I think it's going to happen, or like, please make it happen, so I'm voting yes. 65% say yes. 19% say no, which that's a pretty big percentage. 15% say yes, but only a Twitter post. That's also a good point because E3 usually is like a 30 to 40 minute presentation, but a lot of companies, Nintendo included, will actually tweet out the week of E3 with more announcements, stealth drops, things like that. And that also could be an option. We'll touch on that a little bit later. Now, I guess I have to answer this question. Do I personally think that Animal Crossing will show up around E3? And I have to say yes. Now, here's the reason why. It's a huge game. It's the biggest game Nintendo has. So why not put it in the biggest presentation of the year and show off an update, show off something cool for fans? We'll go over in a bit what I think will be included in that. But I really do think that Animal Crossing will show up in this presentation. I'm almost 100% confident. Obviously, we have crazy Nintendo, which may not do it, but I feel like this is a very important. This is an important milestone for Animal Crossing. Like, milestone's probably not the best word. This is like a turning point, okay? If Animal Crossing isn't shown in E3, I think there's going to be a lot of negativity. I think people will fall off even more than they already are. And it could be the perfect time to announce something big to get people back into playing this game, or the people that are just playing it now to get them really, really excited. So this is a huge turning point for the game. No pressure at all, okay? I don't think it's do or die because I do think they're going to be updating it throughout the year. New Halloween events, can't wait for that. They're probably going to update the fireworks show. But basically, the reason why I think that there's going to be something, if we look at the calendar of events for Animal Crossing, the last update actually gave us all the way up till August. So that kind of scares me. E3's in June. Whatever they announced would probably come out in June or July. But if you notice, they only outlined the events in the game up until June. So we know everything up until the recent Cyrus anniversary photos. July has nothing. Correct me if I'm wrong. July has nothing. There's nothing going on in Animal Crossing. August is the fireworks, and then after that, it doesn't really matter because August will probably be getting an update. July has nothing. So this is like the perfect time to add something in this game. Now let's go over what I think it will be. The number one thing that I think it will be, and this is just a good logical guess. I have nothing surrounding this except for this was a big part of New Leaf. That is Cap'n in Tortimer's Island. I really do believe in this. Now, last year during the summer, that's the key word, we did get a huge diving update, which made sense. It's summertime. And now I'm talking about the Northern Hemisphere, by the way. I know you Southern Hemisphere people are out there. Nintendo, I don't think, has ever catered an event in the game or something special to the Southern Hemisphere people. I love you guys, but let's talk about Northern Hemisphere, okay? So summer last year, they did the diving update, which made sense. Summer, let's go swimming. Cap'n is a nautical fella, and he has his boat, which docks usually at a dock. We all have a dock on our islands. It would be such an easy update. So basically what I think will happen is Cap'n will come one day out of the week, okay? And that might be shocking to some, but here's my reasoning behind that. I really don't think that Cap'n is going to be a permanent member on our island. If he was there 24/7, he would just be parked all the time, and I don't think that's the case. I think, if I had to guess, I think that Cap'n is going to be there every Friday, okay? And I know, that sounds a little dumb. A multiplayer island that you can play with your friends, only being there one day out of the week, it sounds like a very Nintendo thing to do. They like to do this thing, especially in Splatoon, with like Salmon Run, where they do this like limited event. It's only available during like select times or days, and it makes it feel special. And I think that's what they would do in Animal Crossing. Now, I do think that you'll be able to time travel to Friday and go to Tortimer's Island and do multiplayer. So I think that that is probably going to happen. But if I had to guess, Friday would be the time that Cap'n would be at your island, and he could take you to Tortimer's Island. Now, Tortimer's Island is a multiplayer island, and it had a few mini games. Honestly, a lot of it is, I don't really remember it. You had like a balloon popping mini game. You had this mini game where you like chase around this robot, and you had to hit it with hammers. There was, I believe, a fishing mini game. The mini games were a little bit lacking, but now with new hardware, with Nintendo's good. They'll make fun multiplayer games. And the reason why I say that is because the Rover Maze was fun. And that's like sort of a mini game. So I trust them 100%. They just need to put it in the game. So my number one thing that I think will happen is Cap'n will return, limited time, one day out of the week, and will bring us to Tortimer's Island, or maybe even other islands. I think that's further down the line. But I think Tortimer's Island, a multiplayer update, is probably the safest update to come during the summer. Now, a multiplayer island wouldn't necessarily add to the longevity of this game, but it would be something to keep us occupied during the summer. It wouldn't add to the design community. It wouldn't add to UGC, user-generated content, which they've been saying that we want the players basically to make the fun. I think this is the exception. It makes sense. It's summertime. Multiplayer island would make a ton of sense. Now, the second thing that I think could happen that has kind of gotten a lot of steam, and I'm kind of on the fence about this now, is a paid DLC. This is not out of the question. I think that Animal Crossing has never done this, but because of the sales of this game, paid DLC makes a lot of sense. Now, paid isn't all doom and gloom. I know that a lot of people are kind of indifferent about giving this game even more money than we've already gave, but we've only given this game $60. If you don't include the Build-A-Bear, don't include like the things that you find at Target, like you didn't need to buy that stuff. If you're including Sanrio, then that's another $6. But like, I feel like at this point, the amount of time that we've put into Animal Crossing, another $20 or $30 to me and to a lot of other people wouldn't break the bank. And especially because paid DLC means a lot. Like paid DLC, usually if you're paying for something, they have to justify that payment. So I think that paid DLC, I would welcome it because it would probably add a lot of stuff. Now, what would paid DLC add? There's a bunch of things that I can think of. The multiplayer thing could be a paid DLC. Now, I just said that that's the most likely, but they could do a paid option in there because, like I said, multiplayer wouldn't affect the game. Yeah, you might get some prizes for winning the multiplayer games, but it wouldn't affect the overall game. Like if Little Billy didn't have enough money to buy the paid DLC multiplayer expansion, yeah, he would kind of miss out on a little bit of fun, but like his island would look similar to everyone else's. So I think that a paid multiplayer update isn't out of the question and actually would be a good way to do paid DLC. Another paid DLC option could be another island that we visit. New Horizons is set up in a way that, like, the seaplane is a wonderful thing because we don't know how far these mystery islands are. We don't know how far Harv's Island is. All we know is we go in a seaplane and we fly off and end up on another island. That is set up perfectly for DLC. So whether they do a happy home island or an island with other NPCs, a city island similar to like City Folk where they bring back like Brewster and things like that, that would be, I think, a welcomed addition. So I think if it comes to paid, it's either going to be a new island that we can visit or a multiplayer expansion. So those are my two options for a paid update. Now, I think the third and final possibility would be on the boring side, but it is very Nintendo. It's very Animal Crossing for what they've been doing. The other option could be a trailer that plays in the Nintendo presentation. That is simply update 1.11, and it brings some new funky things. Maybe Katrina comes in the game. I don't really believe in Brewster yet, but I do believe in possibly bringing back gyroids. So similar to the fossils, you can dig them up and you collect gyroids. And it's another thing that you can put in your museum. And it's just another collectible. They were just always a part of Animal Crossing. And I don't really know why they're not in the game. We have Lloyd, the one that like collects the toll for like building bridges and stuff. But like there used to be a whole bunch of them. Wacky ones too. So I think that we could get a smaller 1.11 update that could add things like that. The fourth option is similar to the third option, but no trailer. So they could possibly, like a day before E3 or the week of E3, do what they did with 1.10 and simply put out a Twitter blog post highlighting what's going to come to 1.11. That I think would be fine. That would be better than nothing. But I would love to see Animal Crossing in this presentation. And I really do think that it's going to make it. It's a giant game, like I was saying before, and this is a big stage for everything Nintendo. So I think those two would fit in. Now, the fifth and final option is nothing. Is absolutely nothing. No trailer in the presentation, no blog post, no 1.11. And they wait until August or July to put out a trailer for August. And honestly, I wouldn't like that. I feel like that is a misstep on this part because, like I said, there's a huge gap in July, and I feel like this game needs to continuously update, at least for this year. Maybe next year you can like sporadically update it, but this year should be like year one where we constantly get updates. So yeah, option 5 is not what I want to go. Yeah, that's not what I want. I'm super excited. Like before I started filming this, I was like, is it too early? Is it too early to like do this video? But yeah, E3 is in less than a month and Animal Crossing needs an update in the worst way. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, in the comments, I'll be looking out for some spicy comments back to me. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Peace out. Bam. Another video. All right. Kix, I'm so in love with you. I love you too, but my heart belongs to Tasha.